friends. I'm your host, Erin Port, and welcome to the Simple Purposeful Living podcast. Life can be overwhelming and busy, so once a week, I invite you to join me, and together we will make simple tweaks to uncomplicate the hard parts of our life so we can spend more time doing what we love. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. We are in the doldrums of summer, the slow month of July, where everything just seems to slow down a little bit. And I just wanted to bring you a couple of fun episodes. Last week we did Ask Me Anything, and this week we are going to do this season's Simple Saving Graces. I have combined and tallied up and kept a little list of 10 simple saving graces. I'm going to do this every quarter. I think it'll just be helpful. It's little things that are making our life better at our house, tiny joys, tiny tweaks, everyday helpers I'm loving. And the ones that make life 100 times easier, a little bit brighter, and oftentimes they fly under the radar and we don't even notice them, but I like to share them, not because they'll change your life overnight, but because noticing and naming good things changes how we show up to our life. Like, hey, that is helpful. And when we realize that it's helpful, we're more inclined to do it again, or to reach for it, or to appreciate it and replicate it. And maybe, just maybe, in the process of me sharing my 10 simple saving graces, you'll find something that you can implement, a tiny tweak that you can try with your family, or maybe you'll even think of a saving grace that you have for yourself. And if you do, I'd love for you to email me or DM me on Instagram. And if you love this episode, let me know that as well, because I always am trying to look at the data and your feedback to know what I should bring you every single week. All right, so let's get to it. This season's 10 simple saving graces. Number 1, the dishwasher rule. Okay, so my kids have chores like all kids do. And the thing about chores with my kids is I'm always trying to think, how can I take myself out of the equation? I don't want to referee. I don't want to be having to constantly remind them. So growing up, I also had to unload the dishwasher with my sister. I tell my kids, you have 3 siblings, so this job is way simpler than even when I was a kid. But they would whine about it. They would fight over who had to do what. And so I was like, okay, what's the tiny tweak here? And I'm telling you, this is a saving grace. So I divided the dishwasher into 4 parts. We have 3 drawers, like a teeny tiny top drawer, the regular, what you think of the glasses drawer, and then the plates drawer at the bottom. And then we also have the basket for all the silverware. So I divided it into those fourths. They are not even, right? Like the very top drawer and usually the silverware drawer are not as much as the other 2 drawers. And that's on purpose, because whoever thinks to unload the dishwasher first gets first pick, second pick, so on and so forth. Literally, once I implemented this dishwasher rule, I very rarely have to remind them. I might have to say to the 3rd or 4th person, who hasn't unloaded the dishwasher today? It has been a game changer. No longer am I having to assign what they're unloading. I no longer have to play referee. Whoever gets there first gets the first decision, and it gets done. And I love it. So it especially works well during the school year when everybody's getting up and out the door at a reasonable time. Now I have to wait a little longer until the teenagers get up or until Solon gets home from football. But it's a game changer, the dishwasher rule. If you need a tiny tweak, and it could probably be implemented to many different things, but think, how can I take myself out of the equation? How can I make it slightly competitive so they are motivated to do it? And the rest, as they say, takes care of itself. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, grocery shopping estimates. Okay, this is kind of silly, but I'm not one of those moms where we do a ton of schoolwork in the summer. I wish I was. Years ago, I used to start out strong and then fail. And so now I don't even try. We're doing lots of real world things. We're experiencing the world, going on vacation, all the fun things that I think makes a well-rounded kid. But if you're not doing all the school stuff in the summer, just know you're not alone, okay? But one of the things I was like, this kind of feels a little bit like a real life application for math, is grocery store estimates. So every week we go to church when we're in town, if we're not on vacation or traveling. And then my kids and husband drop me off at Aldi. I go grocery shopping, and then Scott, takes the kids to get gas for the week and to get a car wash. I mean, this is a saving grace in and of itself, this little rhythm, because the kids clean out the car, and they're the ones making the mess. The car gets filled with gas, so like I'm not having to worry as I'm kid Ubering around all week if I need to get gas. It's just done on Sunday, and then I go to the grocery store. But when I they come back and get me, I put in the grocery bags and I always ask them, what do you think I spent at the grocery store today? And they're getting good at it. They're asking questions like, did you get meat today? Or how many bags did you get? And it's been kind of fun. Like my kids are actually getting really good at estimating. So I'm like, that's a school skill. I think this is the thing, right? As moms, like we're like, oh, I'm not sitting down and doing X, Y, and Z with them, but we're like teaching them things, real life skills and real life school applications every day. So anyway, I'm talking myself up here. I was feeling kind of bad about myself. I'm like, hey, we're not doing so bad. So there's your takeaway too. But the grocery shopping estimate, super fun. My kids are super competitive, so we're always like closest without going over. Yesterday, my daughter guessed I had 3 bags of groceries. She goes, did you buy any meat? I said no. She guessed $84 and the total was 88, and I was highly impressed. So they're getting good at it. Okay, grocery shopping estimates is number 2. Saving grace around here. We just love it. It's a fun way to connect as a family, kind of just, chatting. I'm always looking for those little connectors, little fun thing. Okay, number 3, family-friendly TV. So during the school year, our evenings are busier and fuller, and people are going here, there, and everywhere. One of the things I love about summer is most of our evenings are spent home as a family. And so we get to watch a little more TV together. So our routine is normally that we have dinner, and then we clean up from dinner. Everybody helps. The rule is 2 to 3 items per person. So in addition to your plate, so they have to put their plate in the dishwasher, rinse it off, put it in the dishwasher, and then they have to find 2 or 3 other items on the counter to put away. And that just really helps me lighten the load. And my goal is always then that this translates to them going off to other people's houses and noticing and helping as well, right? Because that's an important life skill to notice and help put things away. Okay, that's not a saving grace. That's just an add-on. And then after we tidy up the kitchen, I go wash my face, put on my pajamas because that way it gets done. Otherwise, if I sit down on the couch, then I'm just going to transfer from the couch to my bed and I'm not going to wash my face. So I always do that. And then we have watched 4 main shows as a family this summer and have loved them. Number 1, Destination X is on NBC on Tuesday nights. It is kind of like an Amazing Race-esque show where they are literally blindfolded. They're riding around on a bus and they get clues as to what country they're in. And it's just been really fun to watch as a family to learn about. See, this is another real life school geography application. Anyway, beside the point. But it's been really fun to watch as a family. And there is a little bit of occasionally adult innuendos or those sorts of things, but nothing where we can't talk about it as a family or it might go over my kid's head, that kind of stuff. But we have loved it. Destination X. Number 2, Price is Right. I have this recorded. It's just like a daily recording so that we always have some on hand when we need to watch TV, when we want to watch something on TV that my kids like. Again, the kids love this. They're always like guessing along with the studio audience. It reminds me of me growing up because I always watched Price is Right when I was sick or in the summertime as well. So we are loving Price is Right. It's very nostalgic for me. Super fun. Great for estimation skills. I promise to let go of the real life application from school. Anyway, another one is America's Got Talent. We love this one. Super fun to do. We record it, can skip all the commercials, but we enjoy that one as well. And then the last one we like is Wheel of Fortune. I remember watching this as a kid. We record it as well. I think the key for us is if we record it, then we can watch it when we want. And so we'll watch a couple of episodes or an episode of that as well. So Destination X, Price is Right, America's Got Talent, and Wheel of Fortune. And they've been great shows for us to watch as a family. Okay, number 4, Saving Grace, the weekly plan notepad. I swear by this during the school year. On Fridays, before I shut down my computer for the day, before the kids get home, I sketch out my week for work. And then I write down my to-do list. I have daily tasks that I do for my job, like podcast Tuesday. I'm always recording my podcast on Tuesday, unless obviously something is going on or I'm on vacation or something. But Tuesdays are like my podcasting day. So I do all of that for work on Friday. And then in addition to that, I grab out our weekly plan notepad and I sketch out my week for my family. So Scott and I keep all of our long range dates in our phone calendars so that we can share our calendars so that when he's making decisions at work and I'm making decisions, we can kind of see what each other's got going on the family calendar, and then anything that we have for work that would affect the other person, like say like an evening activity or traveling or something like that, we also invite each other to. Then once a week, I get out my weekly plan notepad and I sketch out what we have going on as a family. It literally puts us all on the same page. As moms, we're often the gatekeeper of our schedule, and this allows my family to have some buy-in and some responsibility with what we've got going on. Helps me to anticipate if I need to ask for a carpool, anytime we might be double booked and have to divide and conquer, as Scott and I. It also helps me to make decisions about what I'm going to feed my family, right? Like I always do this before I meal plan because I don't want to be meal planning something that needs to be cooking in the slow cooker when we're not even going to be home to eat it, or whatever, or, a slow cooker pot of chili when we need to be on the sidelines of a game or whatever it is. Okay. But in the summertime, when every single week is different, and you know what I'm talking about. No week is the same. The weekly plan notepad comes in clutch. I'm not kidding you. I filled it out last week at the end of the week, anticipating this week, and I was like, oh, I totally forgot about that. We had an orthodontist appointment. I had committed to a lunch. Great, fun things. Totally forgot that they were on the calendar. This is why I love to do it and have it. It's also why I like to have my calendar on my phone so I can always have it at a moment's notice. But once I write it all out, I put it on the fridge so that everybody's on the same page. And then every morning while I'm making my coffee, I kind of just look at the weekly plan, the daily plan, and say, okay, what do we have on tap for today? Same with my kids, because notoriously in the summer, they'll be like, what are we doing today? And I'll be like, look at the calendar. Is there anything on the calendar? Nope. Then it's free reign, right? Or whatever we've got. So just remember, you can use code PODCAST for 10% off your order, and I will put the weekly plan notepad that we have. It's a bestseller. It's like one of our top 3 products. That, the meal planner, and the brain dump notepad are our bestseller week over week. And it's for good reason. It's such a simple tool, but it is a saving grace, and I love it so much. I will never not do that weekly task because it's so helpful on my brain. Life might be full, but at least I have it on a page where I can see it, so we can where we can flex where we need to flex. We can shift where we need to shift. We can do what we need to do without forgetting anything. So helpful. That's weekly plan notepad is my saving grace, number 4. Okay, number 5 is a lunch that I cannot quit. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I talk about this a lot lately because it's literally, okay, so some of you know that I have been doing dairy-free, gluten-free, refined sugar-free protocol for now it's going on 13 weeks to help heal my gut and to help me to feel better. And I'm telling you, when I do eat those 3 things now, I can tell a difference. It's still harder for me to do this when we're with other people or when we're traveling. And so we were at a dance competition a week ago, and I got home and I just did not feel great so I'm really trying. I know people will say to me all the time, like, that's hard, but not feeling well is harder for me. And so I'd rather do this than feel crappy, if you know what I mean. So I have been doing the pad thai frozen. It's frozen pad thai from Costco. And I got it in the freezer section. It is gluten-free, dairy-free. I think it might have a little bit of sugar in it, but it's not in I don't think it's in the first 5 ingredients, which is kind of like what I'm trying to stick to. And all you have to do is it comes in these little, think of like a TV dinner, little plastic container. I know, microplastics, but let's just, one thing at a time. Anyway, I cook it in the microwave for 2 minutes. You take it out, you shake it, you put it in the microwave for 2 more minutes. And then I just stick it in my cast iron skillet with a little bit of avocado oil. And while that's sizzling up, I just kind of put it off to the side. I add some protein, whatever I have on hand. Like last week, I had some extra salmon. Sometimes I'll have rotisserie chicken. And then I cook 2 eggs on top over easy. So I have the pad thai with a little bit of protein plus 2 eggs on top. And I usually cut the pad thai in half. So I have half for one lunch and half for the next day. And then I top it, if I have it, with cilantro. Oh my word. You feel like you're eating out. It tastes like you're eating out Thai food. It is so good. It's the Costco frozen pad thai. And like I said, I split it in half so I get 2 lunches out of it. I always put some extra protein in, whatever I have on hand, rotisserie chicken, steak, pork chops, salmon, whatever. Just cube it up, chop it up, warm it up. and then 2 eggs over easy on top because that's an easy 12 grams of protein as well. And I'm trying to eat more protein to stay full. And this is a great meal for lunch. That's saving grace number 5. Okay, number 6 is another food item. Because even though I'm eating gluten-free, dairy-free, and refined sugar-free, mama still needs some chocolate. So a friend who also has done this protocol with the same doctor recommended Lily's chocolate chips. You can get them at all major grocery stores. And I like the dark chocolate ones especially, and they are amazing with salted almonds. So delicious. And what I was finding, I was wearing a glucose monitor originally as part of this to kind of learn like what things spiked my glucose, what things, because when your glucose spikes and comes back down, it can cause that like tired feeling, especially like I was having that especially after lunch. Anyway, so I was learning a lot of carbs spike my glucose. Anyway, so I'm trying to find like snacks and sweets and things like that that don't, and this doesn't. And I think it's because of the almonds. They're really protein packed. So I have found, just so you know, so you can be successful out of the gate, 1 almond to three Lily's chocolate chips per bite, chef's kiss. So good. And I have like a little handful in the afternoon or, like evening after dinner for that sweet treat. So delicious and easy. So Lily's chocolate chips. I like the dark chocolate, but the semi-sweet is great too. And then almonds. And I just get my almonds at Aldi. Aldi does not sell the Lily's chocolate chips, and either does Costco. I sure wish they did. Fingers crossed. We'll put that out into the universe that sometimes either one of those would do that. Okay, number 7 on the list is Marco Polo. And I know I've talked about this before. I'm sure it's made a list on the podcast before, but I could not have the summer's simple saving graces and not include Marco Polo. So Marco Polo is think of like FaceTime meets text message. It is a video messaging app where you can send a video message on your timing, and then the other person can watch it when they're available, and then they can send you a message back. So we have the family plan, which is a little bit extra, which allows you to make it go faster. Just like, when you listen to this podcast, you can do 1x, 1.5x, 2x. You can do that with the family plan on Marco Polo. And my sister, cousin, and I give it to each other each year for Christmas. So one of us will just say, I'm paying for it this year, they're paying for it next year, whatever. We take turns paying for it, but we love it. And my sister, as you know, lives overseas. I talk to her every single day because of this. Even though she's 7 hours ahead of me most of the year, she can send me a Marco Polo during her daytime. I can message her back. I saw my cousin over the 4th of July, and I literally thought I had seen her more recently than I had. My kids were like, "You have not seen her since Christmas." And I said, I literally felt like I'd just seen her because of Marco Polo. We talk all the time. I feel like I know what's going on in her life. And it's just like we picked up right where we left off when we saw each other in person. So it doesn't obviously replace in-person connection. Like you can ask so many more questions. You can do all those things. But if it's one of those seasons of life where you're like, I can't spend hours on the phone every single day with somebody I care about, but I can Marco Polo them like while I'm out for a walk. That's one of my favorite times to do it. I also love to listen to it on my walk because it's like, oh, I can go talk to my sister while I'm walking today. Something I like to do with something I have to do, which makes me more motivated to walk. So Marco Polo, if you have not tried it, highly recommend it. I have Marco Polos with other people as well, my sister-in-law, some friends that I don't get to see all the time. It's just great, especially in the summertime when your schedule's different and you might not be seeing those people that you really care about, but you want to stay connected. Marco Polo is where it's at. Okay, number 8, the front seat rule. So remember the dishwasher rule that was number 1 saving grace? Well, the front seat rule is another tiny tweak that we have made this summer that has been a game changer. So Quincy's still in a booster seat. He still qualifies for a booster seat. Poor kid probably will qualify forever. So he kind of but he's the youngest too, so it probably wouldn't happen very often anyway. But the front seat rule, now that my kids are older and they can officially sit in the front seat because they qualify for the standards or whatever. How it works is I heard this on a podcast and I was like, that is genius. Because I'm always like, how can I get out of refereeing and take myself out of the equation? Like just whoop, we don't even have to have a discussion because here's the rule, right? Is that the oldest kid in the car on that ride gets to ride in the front seat. That's it. So when Solon's in the car, he rides in the front seat. When Vera's in the car, she rides, and Solon's not in the car, she rides in the front seat. No more, who gets to sit in the front seat? It's my turn to sit in the front seat, mom. Da 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 da. It's like, nope. Whoever's the oldest that's in the car on that particular ride sits in the front seat. And honestly, it works for even Scott and I because Scott's usually driving, then I'm the next oldest in the car, so obviously I sit in the front seat. The one exception to the rule that they asked me to make, which I thought was awesome, is except on your birthday. So when it's your birthday, then you can sit in the front seat, minus obviously the kids that aren't old enough, whatever. But that has worked out beautifully. So if you feel like you're refereeing who's sitting in the front seat, give that number 8 saving grace a try. I just love that. If you have more of those like that, like the dishwasher rule or the front seat rule, would you Marco Polo me? Would you message me or email me? Because I think those kind of things are so helpful and make life 100 times easier because you're not pulling out your hair. Am I right? Okay, number 9. One of the things, like I said, back to my diet that has been a saving grace is trying to I'm eating more greens. I'm eating more salads. A lot of times, if my family is making a sandwich, I just take all those toppings and put it on top of lettuce instead. So last night we had BLT wraps, and instead of putting it in a wrap, I made it a salad. So I had lettuce, bacon, tomatoes, and then I put a little bit of turkey on it too, just for some more protein. And then instead of the mayo, which I could have mixed it with mayo, but I thought, well, that kind of feels weird on a salad. I made my favorite vinaigrette dressing. And I used to not ever make my own dressings because I thought that sounds like a lot of work until I started making this dressing, which is equal parts vinegar and olive oil. So whatever kind of vinegar you want. I sometimes will use apple cider vinegar. Sometimes I'll use a balsamic vinegar. My favorite kind is any type of balsamic vinegar that is flavored. I've had pineapple balsamic vinegar. Right now I have a raspberry balsamic vinegar. Before that we had a quince. Is that what it's called? Quince, pomegranate balsamic that I picked up. I'm telling you, normally it's 1 tablespoon of vinegar to 1 tablespoon of olive oil. If Scott and I both have a small side salad, or if I want a little bit more, I usually do 3/4 tablespoon of each. If you don't like the taste of balsamic, you can cut that back a little bit, but I like equal parts. And I'm telling you, I just mix it up really quick so it kind of emulsifies together because the oil and the balsamic vinegar will separate over time. So literally, I just make it right as I'm making dinner, equal parts. Mix it up with like a little tiny whisk or even just your fork. Pour it over the top. It is delicious. Then you can add salt and pepper, obviously, to your salad, but you don't even need any other things. And that's basically what I use now for all dressings. And even if I'll go to like a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant, I'll just ask them for vinegar and oil. And usually, especially like Italian restaurants, they have that on hand for their breads. And then that's just what I use for my salad. So there's a hot tip for you with just super simple vinaigrette dressing. And it works with everything. If you put fruit on your salad, if you put savory things on your salad, it's great. Because I just haven't gotten to the point where I can eat a salad without dressing. It just needs a little something, something, if you know what I mean. Okay, and last but not least, number 10, saving grace, is songs by Forrest Frank. Okay, he went viral for, a couple of months ago for his song. Oh my gosh, what is this song? Your Way is Better. There was like a whole viral dance. He went viral. Anyway, I have always had a little bit of rub with Christian music. I love it. It's great for like, calming my soul, resting. But when it comes to like working out or when I'm cleaning, normally I'm listening to like Pitbull. Last week, you remember my favorite hype song is Feel This Moment by Christina Aguilera and Pitbull. Like I need like a good beat to get going. Okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm dancing. Okay. So Forrest Frank enters the scene and I'm like, bingo, bango. This is the guy I've been looking for. He has a great bop. Like all of his songs, Celebration, Your Way is Better, Big, Anyway, all these songs. So if you need like and they're great for the kids. My kids love them. I play it a lot in the morning time. It's just super uplifting. I played it on my walk today. It just motivates me and gets me walking a little bit faster. But they're just like good, encouraging lyrics that I love. So if you're looking for something, it's just been a saving grace to help motivate me. And Forrest is spelled with two R's, I believe. Forrest Frank is his name. And yeah, I've loved all of the songs that come out. There are some more rap songs that sometimes I'll just skip past that one. My teenage son actually, he's like, I like that one. But anyway, so those are my 10 saving graces. So let me go over my 10 summer simple saving graces in case you need one. Number 1, the dishwasher rule. Number 2, estimating what your groceries cost with your family. Super simple rhythm that's super fun. Number 3, family-friendly TV, especially for us, Destination X, Price is Right, America's Got Talent, and Wheel of Fortune. And if you can't watch them live, just record them and watch them later. Number 4, our weekly plan notepad, so I actually know what the heck is going on every week. Number 5, the Costco frozen pad thai that I split in half for lunch and then add 2 over easy eggs on top of. Number 6, my chocolate snack, which is Lily's chocolate chips and almonds. Number 7, Marco Polo to connect with my favorite people. Number 8, the front seat rule. Don't have to make any more decisions about that. And number 9, the vinaigrette dressing, equal parts balsamic vinegar and olive oil. And number 10, if you want a good beat, and you want something uplifting, Forrest Frank is where it's at. And there you go, my friends. 10 simple summer saving graces. Let me know, what is the saving grace that you are finding in your life right now? I would love to know because I think we can all learn from each other. And if you like this, let me know because I'm planning on doing it again this fall. Who knows what'll make the list? I just kind of keep track. Again, when we notice things, we're more likely to appreciate them and do them on purpose. And it's often the simplest things that make the biggest difference, right? That's why I like a tiny tweak. You don't have to overhaul your life to love it when one tiny tweak will do. Well, that's a wrap, friends. I will see you right back here next week. But until then, I hope you're enjoying your summer and you're finding a few saving graces along the way. If you liked this episode, it would mean so much if you'd share it with a friend or leave a quick rating and review so others can find our show. Until next time, you can find me at Simple Purposeful Living on Instagram and Facebook.